I didn't see you. Hello. I apologize for intruding so closely, getting all up in your personal affairs, and being so engrossed in your bubble. Big Chief is one of the most well-known figures in the worlds of reality TV and street racing. Fans who followed his path for years only knew him from his racing victories, the thrills, and the races. His garage, however, was one item he kept completely secret from the public. What did he conceal within it? All this time, what had he been working on? The enigma has now been resolved. The racing community was rocked by what was discovered when Big Chief's garage was recently opened. What did they observe? Was it personal secrets or a collection of cars? Prepare yourself because you won't be able to express what they discovered. The garage of Big Chief. Big Chief is a well-known street racer who appears on the renowned Street Outlaws series on the Discovery Channel. What is Big Chief's most thrilling life story? It's his garage. This location has unexpected secrets and a setup that isn't typical of a street racing. But don't worry. Big Chief's garage has finally been revealed to the world. Where can I find it? The garage, which is situated near his home on his private property in Oklahoma, is intended to support both his expanding internet presence and his mechanical labor. A tour of the garage now. The garage's layout would be the first thing you notice. It wasn't constructed like a commercial garage or showroom. The day the garage door finally opened, and something that fans have been anticipating for years, was quiet. There was more than simply a group of fast automobiles inside when the door moved upward and the lights flickered on. It was an insight into the world of Big Chief. Big Chief's garage is a well-designed work area that is stocked with equipment and projects from his many years of racing. However, the garage didn't always appear this elegant. Big Chief began working with automobiles in cramped quarters with little tools. He gradually enlarged the garage setup to its current state as he became well known and established a reputation in the street racing world. This room is unexpected, not because of its size or appearance, but the volume of important, high-level work that takes place within it. The garage is well organized, with separate spaces for personal belongings, tool storage, video setup, and mechanical workstations. Engines and gearbox components are stacked on workbenches. Automobiles that previously roared along the streets are packed in one corner, and shelves are stocked with every possible tool, from grinders to welders. The Crow, the gigantic Chief automotive love, is standing in the middle of the room, the rarest and most valuable thing he's ever owned. Because he wanted to make people eat crow after they lost to him. Justin Shearer went with the Crow. However, this was not the 1972 Pontiac Le Mans that fans saw on Street Outlaws in the early seasons. He restored the car after it was involved in a serious collision and sustained damage during a major Chiefs race in 2015. This new one was a custom-built 1970 Pontiac GTO roller that had been modified from the previous model. It may be familiar to you if you enjoy Pontiacs and early pro-modified vehicles because it was Marty Palbican's GTO, which established the standard for turbocharged door cars long before it became popular. This was among the first dual turbo pro mods, if not the original. It operated on alcohol, featured Haltech electronic fuel injection, and was equipped with Detroit diesel semi-engine turbos. Additionally, it was the first authentic Pontiac-powered professional modification vehicle in the 1970s, the first in the 1960s, and it nearly broke the 200 mph speed barrier. Feeling impressed? You ought to be. particularly after you found out that it used cast iron OEM Pontiac cylinder heads for it. Although the structure had been strengthened and the automobile had been altered, the soul remained the same. The fading labels on the dash and the scratches on the roll cage were reminders of its past, despite all the improvements. Many of the original Crow's components are still present in the new one. The most prominent is the power plant. The Pontiac engine that was taken from the Crow's wreckage and used in the Crow mod is the identical one. Because of this, it was the obvious choice for the Crow's rebirth. Edelbrock cylinder heads made of cast aluminum are used in the engine, which is why its speed is nothing short of remarkable. 94mm precision turbochargers that can deliver more than 60 pounds of boost to the tiny Pontiac Bullet provide the airflow. The fuel and spark are managed using a Fuel Tech system, a set of Weld Racing Delta. One wheel supports the Crow. Goodyear slicks are fitted to the 16x16 rear wheels. This allows Chief to perform what he does best, which is street racing, with the most potential impact. If you have witnessed Street Outlaws, you are aware that the vehicle uses all of its horsepower to get down the road. The Crow appears rough and multicolored from the exterior, but that is irrelevant. The Crow can move quite quickly. In addition to the Crow, additional vehicles that were never displayed to the public were discovered there. While some were still in their basic phases, others were nearly finished. These lesser-known constructions tend to be more experimental or personal, in contrast to the Crow, which has a lengthy racing history. Are you curious about one of the vehicles that was seen in his garage? It is an older model of Chevrolet. He has been working on updating the suspension and adding a contemporary power plant to this vehicle. It is intended for a long-term construction, where he experiments out new concepts rather than for racing right away. Wonderful, isn't it? He once gave an explanation for why he likes to remodel cars without a deadline. He cited the ability to experiment with various setups as the reason. Chassis designs and tuning techniques without the stress of race day. He has been working on a modest tire project in his garage, which is another surprise. Huge. Chief has recently expressed interest in small tire racing, which is becoming more and more popular. Even though he is best known for his huge tire, high horsepower vehicles, a distinct setup, traction, and weight distribution strategy are needed for these vehicles. He has a lightweight body with a slight tire build, a mid-range engine setup that prioritizes elegance over power, and a suspension system that is meticulously balanced. There are a number of frame-off builds underway in addition to the muscle vehicles and tiny tire projects. These include an old-school G body car that has been stripped down and prepared for real street activity, engines mounted on stands, and a sleek, matte black chassis devoid of body panels, tubing, and suspension resting on the side. This explains why Big Chief owns so many vintage vehicles. He used them as test beds to evaluate various transmission combinations, power adders like nitrous or turbos, and new engine configurations. Are these experiments consistently successful? Absolutely not. However, they are a step in the process that makes him a better racer and builder. Big Chief has never made a public announcement about every new endeavor. He sometimes makes them public instead, either in the backdrop of other videos or in little snippets on his YouTube page. His audience has become curious as a result, constantly glancing over to see what new vehicle he is working on in the garage corner. He frequently has viewers halt and ask, "Wait, what's that in the background?" on his channel. Fans took notice of a Chevrolet Corvette two-door coupe with an unusual body shape, which was one unexpected build. We are led to believe that he intended to incorporate it into a sleeper, a vehicle that appears stock on the exterior but conceals impressive performance underneath. Projects like these demonstrate his versatility and inventiveness as a builder, even though he hasn't disclosed all the specifics yet. The entire garage is devoted to engines in another area. Big Chief has a reputation for paying close attention to horsepower details. A number of full power plants were on engine stands. There is the enormous, specially designed Vate engine with high-performance parts that imply significant speed. Some had huge turbochargers or blowers installed so they could be used on the track or on the street, while others were naturally aspirated. The air was heavy with the smell of metal and oil. Every bolt and wire had been installed by someone who was quite knowledgeable about the process. Nearby, there were stacks of differentials, transmission cases, and parts bins containing tiny but essential pieces. The Street Outlaws. Additionally, he was given the chance to host the show because to his strong standing on the racing circuit. After Justin showed off his best racing skills in the first season of the show, Street Outlaws quickly rose to the top of the network's ratings and was given a second season renewal. In addition to making him well known, the show made street racing a national pastime. In his private life, on September 29, 2006, Justin wed Alicia Shearer, and the two of them had two sons, Corbin and Covey. Prior to issues between them leading to their breakup in 2017, the pair enjoyed over 10 years of comparatively happy marriage. Justin disclosed that his concentration on his work rather than his family was the reason for the breakup. While going through a divorce, after Justin began dating fellow auto racer Jackie Brosh, there were accusations that he might have cheated on his partner. But because of his role in Street Outlaws, Justin vehemently disputed it. However, he remained grounded despite the issues in his personal life. He continued to work on his vehicles and attended local races. Fans began to notice that Big Chief was missing from new Street Outlaws episodes around 2021. There were rumors. Some claimed he was working on a significant project behind the scenes, while others stated he had permanently quit. However, nobody was aware. He left the show, but why? What went wrong? Let's investigate. Leave Street Outlaws. In the venerable American reality TV series, Street Outlaws, Big Chief enthralled millions of viewers. The loyal audience was so taken aback by his absence and began to wonder what had become of Big Chief. Stay tuned, and let's get started if you want to learn everything there is to know. In June 2013, the American reality TV show Street Outlaws made its premiere on the Discovery Channel. The show centers on the purportedly illegal street racing circuit in Oklahoma City and the final struggle between street racers for the top 10 spots on Oklahoma's list of elite racers. At the moment, a considerable number of viewers are fans of Street Outlaws. And even while it raises questions about the series' illegal element, car show fans still love it internationally. As intended, the show's primary focus is on the cars, but it has also made stars out of the several racers that appear on Street Outlaws. All of them were easily remembered by devoted fans, who knew them by name in addition to their assigned racing nicknames. Nevertheless, Big Chief would be familiar to even the least observant watcher. Big Chief, whose real name is Justin Shearer. Perhaps the biggest star of Street Outlaws is the person who hosts the show and controls the competition between the boisterous racers. Devoted viewers and fans just cannot fathom what the show would be like without him. In addition to hosting, Justin is among the top drivers and presents the other contestants with tough competition. Just a short while ago, though, Justin took a break from the concert, which naturally upset the audience. There were many rumors that Big Chief would be quitting the show, and even that he would have taken time off to go to rehab. Thankfully, for devoted viewers and fans, we have the inside scoop on Big Chief's true story and the reason behind his abrupt disappearance. He could have been able to gather fans and achieve some notoriety by appearing on Street Outlaws. However, it has surely taken a toll over time. It is disclosed that his demanding schedule served as the reason for his absence from the most recent seasons. In addition to competing and running his custom car building business, Justin also hosts the show, settles disputes, and organizes the racing events. Therefore, Justin promptly refuted the allegations on social media when fans were incensed by bogus reports that he was leaving the program permanently. He notified Street Outlaws viewers and his followers, said he had taken some time off to relax and focus on the workshop and his family. Such a hectic schedule often requires compromise, as one might expect, and unfortunately, his workshop's operations suffered during his absence. Justin had to take care of matters closer to home because the show is not his primary source of income. Additionally, his wife, Alicia Shearer, and their kids, Corbin and Corval, have been receiving more of his time. It appears that the stories about the rehab were all wild conjecture. Big Chief claims that speed, adrenaline, and high-octane action are the only addictions he has ever experienced. The show may have let him leave, according to other speculations, but Justin denied them and said he would be back in the upcoming seasons. In response to the rumors, Justin shared images of his most recent car-building endeavor on social media, along with a statement implying that he would soon be back on TV. Supporters thanked him for coming back and stated their desire to see his new street car in service. Recently, fans have questioned whether Big Chief's racing career and Street Outlaws had another turning point. He split from his longtime friend and business partner, Sean Ellington, who is perhaps best known for Murder Nova. For a long amount of time, supporters and onlookers were impressed by the two top contenders' amazing collaboration. However, unfortunately, at the beginning of the most current season, the two announced that they would no longer collaborate. On social media, those who were stunned by the split vented their sadness and asked for clarification. For nearly 9 years, Justin and Sean co-owned Midwest Streetcars. They collaborated to create some of the most amazing street modifications that can be found on Oklahoma's roadways. As anticipated, their announcement was swiftly followed by an increase in online rumors and conjecture. According to some, the two had a disagreement that led to the breakdown of their friendship and the decline of their business partnership. Rumors are usually wild guesswork, of course. Big Chief thus rectified the false information on social media once more. Justin claims that their interests have shifted and that they have just grown apart over time. After deciding to put his family first, Justin launched a new business with fellow racer Phantom. He essentially performs the same thing in his new workshop, 187 Customs, but it frees up more time for him to spend at home and concentrate on his racing career. Fans were also reassured by Justin that, despite their professional split, he and Sean are still close friends. Let's find out what happened to Big Chief, our favorite character, as there are a lot of tales circulating and people speculating about his whereabouts. On the show, Big Chief has been a regular for a long time. However, he has already taken a break. He used to distance himself in order to spend more time with his family. Big Chief's previous absence was caused by a horrible racing disaster. In the past, he lost control of his car while racing Brian Chucky Davison crashed. After suffering severe injuries in the afternoon, including spinal cord injuries. He had to take time off work to recuperate. But now it seems that Big Chief's absence among street outlaws can be explained by the producing company's policies. He took issue with its Race Your Way in program, which let street felons to be joined by the winners of some preseason races. He saw a lot of outlaws on the streets. Some racers from Memphis were being selected, while others were not. Big Chief clarified his disapproval of this policy. The fact that certain racers were given opportunities while others were excluded infuriated him. What does that signify for his street outlaws' future then? It's unclear if Big Chief will return to the show at this time. He clarified that he hasn't announced a comeback to the show and doesn't regret leaving. Although there has been no official announcement, fans have been anxious to find out if he will return. Big Chief talked about his reasons for leaving Street Outlaws in April 2022 in a YouTube video. When he went to compete on the 405 program, he explained the circumstances and was requested to remain for one more day in order to complete the filming. Regretfully, his vehicle experienced a number of issues over this time and required 8 months of repairs. Although he expressed his excitement about being a part of the America's List spin-off series, he emphasized that he believed some racing rules needed to be modified. Big Chief's values and commitment to street racing were hence the driving forces behind his resignation. Ho underlined that he has consistently been committed to his plan because other racers are doing it. He has refused to change it. He claimed that street racing is the foundation of his life and that he is willing to invest time and money to improve his car's performance. Essentially, Big Chief's departure from Street Criminals was due to a disagreement over ideas and techniques rather than a lack of skill or zeal. It's unclear how he will continue to be involved with the show. For the time being, fans will have to wait to see if the beloved Big Chief returns to street racing on television. What is the Big Chief up to these days? Big Chief of the Street Outlaws focused on his company, Midwest Street Cars, after leaving the program. These days, it's common to see him on YouTube, where he shares footage of his car building projects, being tested on racetracks, and even competing in street racing instead of watching them on TV. He recently uploaded a video with a description, "Chief is testing Caddy Jack and making some adjustments to the Crow." He is delving into the process of testing and optimizing his Caddy Jack in this most recent round of films. It's clear that Big Chief continues to be heavily involved in the automotive and racing industries, applying his expertise and passion to his pursuits. Fans can see a glimpse of his continuous automotive pursuits through his YouTube content, allowing them to follow his adventures in racing and vehicle construction outside of the Street Outlaws environment. Net worth and earnings. Let's now discuss his financial worth. Many people have been curious about Big Chief's current net worth and income. Our analysis from a trustworthy source indicates that Big Chief's net worth is projected to be between $2 million and $3 million by 2025. That sum of money is substantial. How did he get so rich then? Big Chief's work on the Street Outlaws television series on the Discovery Channel is one of his main sources of income. As a key cast member, he got paid per episode, and as the show gained popularity over time, his income rose. His participation in spin-offs and well-known TV appearances also bring him extra cash. We are aware that Big Chief is not just a well-known television personality, but also a skilled street racer. Does he make money from racing cars then? He does, indeed. Consequently, his total net worth is influenced by the money he makes from racing. Given his fame and talent in the racing scene, it is safe to infer that race winnings make up a sizable portion of his profits, even though we do not know the precise numbers because they are not publicly released. Merchandise sales have been another source of income for him. Big Chief used his notoriety to promote branded clothing, accessories, plus additional items associated with his brand and street criminals. In addition, he receives sponsorships and endorsement arrangements with automakers. Both of them have contributed to his increased income. A profitable asset for raising one's net worth is real estate. Big Chief has also made investments in it to diversify his revenue, just like many other celebrities. By buying real estate for his own use or to rent out as an investment, he builds wealth. It's important to remember that Big Chief is a shrewd businessman in addition to being a racer and TV personality. With his hard work, he transformed Midwest street cars into a reliable location for racers. Custom builds, advising, tuning, and online merchandise drops are how the store makes money. In keeping with his love of automobiles, Big Chief has also made investments in companies that deal with the automotive industry. He has numerous businesses, including vehicle repair shops,